So this is a 1949 GMC. My dad's had this truck since he was 17 years old, and there's honestly there's no memories of this truck not being in my childhood, you know. And it's sat for the last 20 years, hasn't moved till we moved it inside here, you know. It was over at my old man's house, and he's still around. He's not in the best of shape now, but all his stuff is over at my place, so I figured I'd pull this thing inside instead of letting it just sit there and rot into the ground. I'd get it running and driving, so we'll see what happens. First thing first, I want to pull this manifold off. I noticed the radiator, it's an aftermarket radiator down there, down below, it's been rubbed. There's a hole rubbed through it because I noticed there was no antifreeze in it, but I don't know. That's probably just from sitting too, but it's there's tape on the manifold where he took the carburetor off trying to rebuild it or whatever. That's a 2-barrel. I'm gonna change this to an aluminum manifold with a 4-barrel. And then I also have I don't know if I'll use this distributor. This is a points distributor, but I also have a Mallory Unilite or whatever it is. It's a electronic distributor. And I also have a set of headers. And instead of, you know, I'm gonna try to get this thing running the way it is right now. The tires are shot. They keep going flat. They're so weather checked. He's had these tires on there. I mean, they've been sitting for over 20 years, you know. And there's great big cracks and stuff in them. They're not safe for the road. The brakes are shot. The master cylinder's dried out. You know, your typical stuff from something sitting for so long. I know I can make this motor run though, and if it doesn't, I'll just pull it out and put a brand new crate motor in it, you know, if I need to. I mean, pretty much do anything to make this thing go, just to be able to drive it. But Grand Rapids swap meet's coming up. I'd love to have it there to pull our trailer full of parts, you know, this year or whatever. But I think what I'll do today is I'll get the top part of the engine all cleaned off, get all this stuff cleaned off real good. I'll pull the distributor out so it's out of my way, get the manifold off, and then I have a brand new manifold, carburetor, air cleaner, all that crap. And then the other thing, I don't trust, this has been on there forever, and that's a like manual style rod, original style throttle cable, or throttle rod. Those are notorious for binding up and sticking wide open full throttle. And I think what I'll do is I'll put a cable on here, but eventually, you know, for right now, I'll do this rod just to get it running, driving, whatever, just so I can hear this motor run. That way I can make sure there's nothing wrong with the engine. And I figure since I was doing this, it's a Sunday, freezing ass cold outside. Didn't really want to sit in the shop, or sit in the house, I mean, so I figured I'd come over here and tinker around. So Pachuco helped me yesterday. We pulled this inside the shop. And I don't want to ramble on too much, but just figured I'd spend the day getting this thing running. And I'll probably change like the plugs, the spark plug wires, all that good stuff, change the oil, you know, if I can get the motor running first. As long as everything runs good, then I'll go ahead and do that, you know, see if it's something I can use to drive. Would love to use this as a shop truck. This would be fun to drive around. A lot of good memories in this truck. I'll probably show you the interior in a little bit, but I'm gonna get to work on this thing. So I forgot to say, this motor used to be, when I was in high school, I used to have a truck that I drag raced, and this motor was in that truck. And obviously it had a tunnel ram with 2 4s and stuff. It didn't have this 2-barrel manifold, and I'm not sure if my dad swapped out the cam to a smaller cam, but this used to be a real radical motor, pushing like 425 horse, somewhere in there. It was pretty radical. You know, this truck weighs nothing, so I mean, it screams with this motor in it. From the memories I had, you know, as a kid, that was back when I was like 17, 18 years old, whatever. And I'd love to get the power out of the motor like it used to be, you know. And like I said, if I have problems with this and this motor's just not enough power to pull the trailer and stuff, which I know it will be, I'll probably just put like a 383 stroke or small block in this thing or something. I don't know, we'll see what happens. But this is a 283 small block, and I don't know, my dad was saying that he had problems with it when he moved here from Missouri, which was like, man, it might have been even longer than that. So I know it's been sitting for, it's got to be 20, 25 years that this thing's been sitting. Because since I've lived in Minnesota, I've never seen the truck go down the road except for one time. And that was just a little 10-minute jaunt, and it was running like crap. So my dad was saying something about the cylinder heads were wrong or something. So I'll have to figure out what's going on with this thing. And I figure I'd take you guys along on the journey. I don't know why, but I was thinking that this was on the opposite side, like the driver's side, but now that I remember, it was on this side. I guess that is stock. Kind of made me go, what? For some reason, I was thinking it was on the opposite side, though. I don't know. Maybe in the later years, they made them, switch to the other side. But if you guys know, I mean, that is original, right? I know it's original, but what year did they switch from the passenger side gas cap to the driver's side? Because I know, like on the, what is it, like the 68 Chevy trucks and stuff, they got the, behind the seat, they got that damn gas tank. But anyways, here's the interior of the truck. It's a mess. Like I said, it's been sitting and sweating and whatever. And I was like really excited to see these. There's a lot of memories driving around with my dad's shotgun. He used to drive around with a shotgun and an AR-15 sitting up here all the time, which was crazy. I can tell you some wild stories with this truck. Holy crap. Here's the two barrel that was on the motor and the air cleaner. I don't know why it's sitting on the seat. This is just the way that I brought it home. The battery goes down on the floor, but it's right here for some reason. I did put the starter in there the other day because that starter is good. I didn't want to lose it, so I wanted to keep it with the truck. And it has a truck 4-speed, so it's a 3-speed with the granny first, granny low, and it's 4-wheel drive. But the starter, I'll pull that out and get it put on the truck so I can get it started up. It's on a stock frame. It's a Danish 60 rear is what my dad put in. I helped him put that in there when I was a little boy. And it's international. It's an international front diff. And I don't know what that's out of. I remember what the truck looks like, but I couldn't tell you what year. And then the old crappy transfer case is right here. For some reason, this has been out for a lot of years, and he just has a single driveline in the truck, which you could actually see right through the bed right there. The bed's all rotted and caved in and crappy. So the plan is, I've always hated this stupid ass roll bar. That's gonna go straight in the scrap pile. I'm pulling the bed off. I'm gonna put a flatbed on this thing. I wanna put a lift on it. We're gonna order brand new tires, wheels, everything, and this is going on a 2500 HD Chevy truck chassis. So that's the plan. We'll see what happens. I don't know how fast I can do it, but I don't want to mess around. I want to get it done. It will get all new glass. I'm not going to paint it. I'm not sure really what I want to do yet with the outside, but as you guys follow along with this build, we'll see what happens. I'll probably keep these because these are off my truck from when I was in high school, and I love these. I thought these were awesome. It used to have a spotlight years and years ago. I don't know what happened to that, which I could care less. I'll just weld that hole up. But everything on the truck is pretty much original from the factory, when it came out, except for my dad putting, the 4-wheel drive setup in it. So it's not an original Napco 4-wheel drive suspension. I was thinking it was, but it's not. And then this bar, my dad built this years ago. I remember him adapting this from some other vehicle. It was like off a Jeep or something like that, and welding this thing, or welding mounts on it to mount it to his truck. And the welds are just absolutely horrible. I looked underneath the frame and stuff. This thing's not even safe to drive. And what's funny is I've driven this truck across the United States probably 5 or 6 times. I've been back and forth to California, to Missouri, all over the place on this truck. This used to be like the most dependable truck I've ever seen in my life. We drove the living piss out of this thing. Broke the frame one time. Like I said, there's some funny stories. I'm not going to ramble on too far, but when I get the body off this thing to show you, I'll show you where the frame is broken right there. But we had a 1949 Harley Hummer right here, a whole bunch of toolboxes, and we had like 11 Harleys on the back, Harley Davidson motorcycles on the back of the trailer with a whole bunch of tools and stuff. And the frame snapped, boom, brakes, and the whole bed went straight up like this, going down the road. I almost lost it on the highway, almost crashed the truck. We were only doing about 60, because it was loaded down. But yeah, lots of good stories in this thing. If you guys have any comments or questions down below, I'd love to hear them. I'd love to hear, what did your old man drive, and what do you think about the truck? Any ideas, any cool colors? I'm like thinking, I don't know, Mad Max, Rat Rod style, like vintage military style. I don't know. I want to do something cool with the body. I wanted to do it, actually, I'll try to put a picture of this truck with my dad and my Uncle Malcolm in the video. I'll try to put that like right in here somewhere so you guys can see what the truck looked like original when I was a kid. And I don't know, what would you guys do with it? I don't want to leave the bed on it though. I know a lot of people are gonna be like, don't take the bed off, but for my company, I want to be able to take the bed off and put a flatbed on it so I can use it for, for hauling big heavy stuff and hauling trailers and whatever. So bed's definitely coming off. And like I said, it will be lifted. It's not getting slammed on the ground or nothing like that. So throw me some ideas in the comments down below. Appreciate it. I know you guys are gonna remember that old movie with the square body Chevy truck. It was like root beer brown or whatever, called The Fall Guy. That's what this piece of crap reminds me of. That's going straight in the scrap pile. And then I pulled this dumbass thing off the front. This General Lee looking, freaking hillbilly ass looking bar. Look how much nicer that looks now. Now with the bumper right there, oh, that's gonna look so good. You know what I like about these old trucks, cars? I crawled inside the engine compartment. It took me 10 minutes to take all these bolts off. The manifold's off, I just gotta pop it off. But that's one thing that I absolutely love about these old cars. I'm in here, it's nice and warm in the shop, I'm relaxing. Just chilling out on a Sunday working on Pops' truck. And no plastic clips anywhere. Everything was bolted on. Everything was, just take a nut off, take it apart. So nice. No stupid new car crap. Next thing I gotta do, I'll pop this manifold off and I'll get everything clean. And I do not have the intake manifold gaskets unless I find a set upstairs in my stock. But I think I'm gonna be done for the day on this because I don't have the gaskets. I don't feel like driving to town to hour or whatever it is to take me to go get them. But there's other stuff I can do. I can work on the body work or I don't know, clean out the interior, do whatever. But I just saw this too. I think there's a split right there. Isn't it? Yeah. But this is all the way to the gas tank, which sucks. So I'll be running metal line to the gas tank. Gas tank's got to be cleaned out. It's been sitting for 20, 25 years, whatever, so the gas is crap. So I'll pull the gas tank out, pull the seat out, vacuum and clean the interior and detail it up a little bit, whatever. But I think the next thing I'll do is I'll get this manifold off, and then on Heidi's car, I have the manifold and 4-barrel carburetor that's brand new, and I'll put that on here. That way I can get this thing running. The other thing I'm gonna do is I'll crawl underneath here and I'll get that starter put on. I might do that today, I'm not sure yet. We'll see what happens. But I might cut this video short. I might throw some pictures on the end of this video of the truck, or